T-bills or treasury bills are one of the instruments that the U.S. Treasury Department uses to finance the public debt. What interest rate is earned by a 33-day T-bill with a maturity value of $1,000 that sells for $996.16? So this is section 3.1, simple interest. So what annual interest rate, that's asking for R. So that's the unknown. So we're going to try to find R. Is earned by a 33-day. So 33 days is the time. We need the time in years. So the textbook uses 360 days per year. So we take that 33 days and divide by 360 to get the time that we're going to use. It has a maturity value of 1,000. The maturity value is the future value or the amount after the time period. So 1,000 is that amount. And then it sells for $996.16, so that's the principal value. Okay, there are a couple different ways to do this. I think that the simplest way to do it is to think about the interest equation only. So the interest equation is P times R times T. But in that equation, the I is the amount of interest as a dollar value. So we'd first need to find the amount of interest. Well, the amount of interest is the difference between these two values, because the final amount is the principal plus the interest. So if we wanted to get the interest, we could just subtract the final amount minus the principal. That would give us the amount of interest as a dollar amount that was earned over the time period. So here we could do that the interest is 1,000 minus 996.16. So that would give us that the interest is $3.84. Okay. So now we could just use this kind of simpler equation to find the interest amount. Okay. So if we plug into this equation, 3.84 is what we plug in for interest. The principal is that 996.16. The rate is what we don't know, so times the rate times the time is 33 over 360. Okay. So there are a couple things we could do from here. We could go ahead and divide by the 996.16, or since all these numbers are multiplied, we can go ahead and multiply these two numbers together to get the coefficient of R. So if we multiply those two numbers together, that is 996.16 times 33 over 360. We get 91.314, repeating. So a lot of sixes. Keep going. All of that times R equals 3.84. So then to solve for R, we would just divide by this 91 number. And I would keep it in your calculator so that you don't round too early. Okay, so you divide 3.84 by that number, and you would get 0.042 when you do that division for the rate R. So that's the rate as a decimal, but really the rate should be written as a percentage. So we'd multiply that by 100. We'd get that the rate is 4.2%. Okay, so the other thing you can do is you can set up the equation A equals P1 plus RT. So you can kind of cut out this step. I just think that equation's a little bit more complicated to solve. So this is what that equation setup would be. And you can definitely solve it this way. Okay, so you'd be solving this equation for R instead of first finding